Hi everyone, my name is Sabrine Johnston. I'm back for another YouTube video. Today I wanted to do a little bit more of an intimate video, and as I stated before, I want my channel to be about life, love, fashion, beauty, what it means to be transgender. And so today I wanted to touch upon one of the issues of what it means to be transgender. And one thing that I encounter very often is this curiosity. I know people are naturally very inquisitive when it comes to meeting someone who is transgender, what it's all about. They want to know all the logistics, all the details and everything. And I want to start this talk by saying that I am very open, I'm very approachable and everything. And I understand there's so much press these days about, people transitioning, and it's amazing. It's such a great time that, everything has come to life. People are gaining a better understanding of our journey and what it means to be transgender. But one thing I wanted to talk about is what I'm going to call transgender etiquette. As I've gone through my journey, I find that people are naturally very inquisitive and they want to know details. They want to know logistics. They want to know how, and I understand that's only natural, but sometimes lines are crossed, and very often lines are crossed. And I wanted to share with you all just one story that happened to me, in a story of many, dozens, literally dozens of times this has happened to me. People realize that I'm transgender or know that I'm transgender or whatever, and then I can see the wheels start to turn in their eyes and the questions start. So I wanted to share with you a situation that actually happened to me, to really help try and put into focus what I'm talking about. So, City Place, West Palm Beach, very close to where we live, outdoor shopping area, very popular, a lot of fun, very social. There with a bunch of my friends, having a great time. Long story short, ran into someone that knew me years ago, blah, 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 extraneous details. Realized I was transgender. I'm very open with who I am, very proud of who I am, try to always carry myself with dignity and poise. And she's like, oh, wow, you transitioned? And I was like, yeah. And she goes, oh, how many years ago? So I go into that. It's about 6 years ago that I began my transition and everything. And I'm very open, very forthcoming. And she goes, oh, wow. And then you can see they're like, I'm so curious. And I know what's coming. I've been down this road dozens of times. The questions start. So did you have your surgery? Yes, I had my surgery. So you don't have a penis anymore, do you? No, I had my GRS that done in '09. Oh. But you don't have a clitoris, do you? Yes, I do. But like a vagina? You have a vagina too? Yes. But it's not like a real clitoris. Like, you can't have orgasms, can you? Like, yes, it's fully functioning. Can you make babies? No, I can't make babies. I don't have a uterus. Oh. So how does that work? How did they make it? Like, so did they just, like, throw the rest of the stuff out? Like, cut it off? Like, are those your boobs? Did you get your boobs done? Yes, I had a breast augmentation too. So you can see that quickly these questions go to something very kind of, shall we say, invasive and intimate. Think about this. We're in the middle of City Place in a very busy kind of bar, maybe nightclub setting. They're having great drinks with my friends, having a fun time. And all of a sudden this barrage of questions starts about my genitals. Well, I don't know how it functions with you in your social world, but usually before, upon meeting people in the first 5 minutes, it's not like, hi, my name is Sabrine, so tell me about your clitoris. No, that's not how it works. So I understand that people are naturally very curious. But I want people to think. And a very wise person once told me that it's great to, plant these little seeds and hopefully they'll germinate. And, I'm trying to be the change I want to see in the world and to kind of convey these thoughts and these feelings and on life and how we all interact. And I just want people to think before they ask. Because now that it's been several years down the road for my journey, and this has happened to me dozens and dozens of times, these questions, this barrage of questions, you have to understand that our journey is something that is very sacred to us. It's so special, it's so dear, it's something that we've waited our whole lifetime, no matter what age we are, to embark upon. And especially something as sacred as the journey, shall we say, below our waist is something that is even more sacred. So no, you cannot see it. Yes, I've been asked on multiple occasions, can I see it? I want to see it. What does it look like? No, honey, this is not the carnival. You don't buy a ticket and get to see it. And a question like that borders on offensive and abrasive. So I want to say that there's an incredible amount of resources, out there online, Wikipedia, WebMD. My doctor is Dr. Marcy Bowers, and she's amazing. So you can even go to her site, Dr. Marcy Bowers, and she's incredible. She's the one that did my surgeon. She has a lot on her website just to read if people are curious, about all of those details, shall we say. So again, when you meet someone who is transgender and you see them dressed to the nines or dressed, beautifully, face done, nails, hair, heels, as I was that night. I had just come from the opera, seeing the opera, standing there dressed, trying to, hold myself with poise and grace. And these questions are kind of fired at me one after the other. And this happens over and over again. I just want to open up a conversation today, if you will, about what's appropriate. What's appropriate, what's inappropriate. And I feel this is a little bit of an area where the line is being crossed, and I just want people to think. I want people to think before they speak. And as I said before, I try to go through my life with poise and with grace and dignity. And when I'm bombarded with these questions all the time, it really is difficult for me to kind of bite my tongue. I always respond back in a very polite manner and try not to be equally as offensive, because sometimes you have to take into account too, there was this person that sort of throwing these questions at me, one of many. Her companion that she was with, this gentleman, as soon as she walked away and I was kind of left by myself for a moment, here he is, 6'2", towers over me, had several drinks in him, and looks at me and says, I have to tell you, I think you're incredibly sexy, but you still have a dick, right? Yeah. So like I said, I'm trying to carry myself with grace and poise, and how do you respond to that? Man next to you is slightly intoxicated, a little bit of a scary situation, so I kind of like trying to fuse it with a little bit of humor, and I was like, hey, there's this thing called the internet that you can look up if you're curious about transgender individuals. Trying to make it into a joke, And this kind of gets wrapped up in with another piece of my journey. I don't consider myself or identify myself as a woman. I don't call myself a woman. I'm me. But I do consider myself female. See if you can wrap your mind around that. I know it's kind of complex for me sometimes too. I don't feel like I'm a woman because I'm me, but I am female. All my identification says female. So, please don't call me he. I'm she. This is a common thread within the transgender community. We walk through fire when we commence our journey. We go through these hardships to walk out the other side. These amazing creatures, that's how I view my community, these amazing, beautiful soldiers, if you will. So, when I'm standing there in front of you with full face of makeup, my name is Sabrine. It's not a gender ambiguous name. It's Sabrine. I'm dressed as a female. I have heels. You see breasts. Don't call me he. And I've talked with several of my fellow transgender individuals, and you all need to know that when there is a slip up of pronoun, it's like a stake to our heart. It hurts. You need to know. It's more than a word. It's who we are. So when you say to us, it's so difficult to change the pronoun. Walk a day in our shoes. Have those barrage of questions fired at you. Did you cut your dick off? Do you have a dick? And then still try and stand and carry yourself with grace and poise. So don't tell me it's so difficult just to change one word. Again, I just want to open up a conversation for people to know what it means to be transgender and these little nuances. I hope you have a wonderful day, and thank you very much for watching. I love you all.